Hello. Very good afternoon. Welcome the co-panelists here. Very eminent panel. Firstly, let me thank the organizers, the TiE team, for inviting us to be here, particularly with a discussion on the defense ecosphere in the country and evolving situation in the world globally. TiE, I've been associated with the TiE in multiple events, and people have been friends to me, both in Hyderabad and Bangalore. I've attended a number of events of TiE, and this is one place where we come across many entrepreneurs, but not the routine faces what we see in all our defense related meetings and events. We always find new faces, new industries, new thought processes, new perspectives, and whatnot and all that. So that is how I always have an interest to come for a TiE event. And particularly this event, yesterday and today, is a big event in Hyderabad, and calling it as Hyderabad Entrepreneurship Summit. Very important event. I only request all the people who are standing may sit down also, whoever is standing. So that gives a better view for all of us and better feeling also. All the people who are standing may sit down. Coming to Hyderabad, and as an overall national perspective, the defense scenario is changing and evolving to a very high level, to a global leadership today. India today having a budget of 6.81 lakh crores for the defense, with about 1.75 lakh crores of capital budget, remaining revenue and all that lot of things. The scenario was, in India we were producing bare minimum about 20-25 years back. Most of the things were imported, and almost in the capital budget 90% was imported. That was the scenario. From that scenario today, we have come to a stage where last financial year, out of the 1.75 lakh crore capital budget, 1.5 lakh crore was produced within the country. 1.5 lakh crores were produced in the country. And now the target given today to the country is, by next year, make it 1.75 lakh crores. This is the target. By 2029, the target is kept as 3 lakh crores. 3 lakh crores is the target. Similarly, when I said imports, we have been doing a lot of imports, and we have been standing tall in the world as the largest importer or one of the largest importers of defense equipment. From there, the turnaround has taken place. We are now exporting. Last year, we have exported 23,666 crores worth of defense equipment to the world. 23,000. That is the change from being the largest importer. You have turned around and started exporting. The target kept now is 50,000 crores. 50,000 crores exports we should do in the next 2 years. That is the target given. So that is the way it is shaping. Many technologies are being developed indigenously now today. There are almost about 2,000 Tier 1 and Tier 2 industries are working for the defense today in the country. There are more than 20,000 industries are working as Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 industries for the defense today. And if you look at, there are a few thousands of startups which are working for the defense today. This is how the scenario. And particularly when you talk about Hyderabad, Hyderabad is an important epic center of defense. I'll tell you, today in Hyderabad, we have more than about 12 laboratories of DRDO. 12 laboratories of DRDO. In fact, I like to mention, more than about 60% to 70% of the budget of DRDO is spent in Hyderabad. Is spent in Hyderabad, more than 60 to 70% of it. Then we have the major public sector units. The CMD of the Bharat Dynamics Limited is sitting here, BDL. Then we have HAL 2 units here. Then we have Bharat Electronics Limited. We have the ordnance factory in the Medak. So there are so many units which are there, which are connected to defense. I am not talking about the Air Force Station. I am not talking about the army units. I am not talking about the other establishments of defense-related quality agencies and whatnot and all that. So that way, Hyderabad is an important center. If you look at for you, as you are, many of them are outside the defense, many major systems are produced here. Talk about all the missiles, everything right from Prithvi, Agni, Akash, Trishul, Nag, Astra, BMD, BrahMos, whatever it is, all the systems are developed and produced here in this city of Hyderabad. There one, and majority of them produced from Bharat Dynamics Limited here, which are there here. Majority of them. When I say Agni, it is not one Prithvi, it is not one Prithvi. It is Prithvi 1, Prithvi 2, Dhanush. When I say Agni, it is Agni 1, Agni 2, Agni 3, Agni 4, Agni 5. These sort of things which are all developed here. And in fact, I like to mention the pride of the country, the mission what has been conducted, Mission Shakti, the anti-satellite test, the most secretive operation which is done in a world record time of 2 years is done from the laboratories in Hyderabad. And that is what Honorable Prime Minister came and then announced to the world through public TV. Similarly, we have the materials laboratory here. We have Medhani. I forgot to tell about Mishradhat Nigam Limited. It is here. Then we have the electronic warfare systems here. We have the directed energy systems. That is the lasers, high power electromagnetics. That laboratory is here. There are strategic systems related things laboratories here. So much of thing in Hyderabad, and so there is a large number of the industries connected to these laboratories are shaped up in Hyderabad, where it is Balanagar, now today you talk about Hajibatla or elsewhere in a big way. So Hyderabad is such an important center for the defense of the country today. In this scenario, now the DRDO or the defense ministry, the defense production is opened up more and more to the private industry. Now today private industries are producing missiles, they are producing bombs, they are producing tanks, they are producing guns, so much also expanded. And a lot of subsystems now today are coming up from private industry, MSMEs, SMEs, even Laghu Udyog Bharat. And major systems are coming from the large industries anyway. They are all coming from various industries. It is not alone the public sector alone now today. I am not saying that it is not public sector, we are reduced or anything. As I said, we are going from 40, 50,000 crores or 30,000 crores to 1.5 lakh crores now. Next year 1.75 lakh crores. And after that in 2 years 3 lakh crores. So that everyone is expanding in a big way. DPSUs are expanding, private sector also expanding. There are huge opportunities which are happening in the country today. And that is why we are looking at people who are not already in the defense, people like you who can come into the defense and come out with more and more innovative systems, making the country tall in the world. So that is how the eminent panel has come here. In fact, I like to mention, this is the panel what is here, is one of the very rare panels what you can see. Very rare panels. The top of the defense in the country from across all the fields in the defense have come here. Now we have Dr. Chandrika Kaushik. She is the Director General in DRDO, looking after the industry, all aspects of industry, technology transfers, connectivity, issues, orders, placement and all that. Connected to the Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guards, the issues and all that related to that, and international cooperation. So such is the level of the Director General who is present here from DRDO. Similarly, we have Commodore Madhavrao. He is the Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Dynamics Limited. As I said, they are the people who have produced Prithvi, Agni, Akash, Trishul, Nag, various other Concord and other missiles and all that, and which they are producing many other missiles today. Till now, I can say one statement. More than 90% of the missiles which are there in the arsenals of our armed forces have come from BDL. In fact, BDL has gone to a stage where it has become one of the world's best manufacturing missiles unit in the world, wherein they could produce 60 missiles of Akash per month. In 1 month, they were producing 60 missiles. And in fact, the CMD has promised Raksha Mantri, sir, if you want, I can produce 120 missiles a month. That is the level of competency what they have, and that is the one he is representing here. Then we have another great man, Colonel Rajendra Bhatia. He is the president of SIDM, the largest body for the defense industries in the country. They represent everywhere. The Ministry of Defense takes them very seriously. For everything they are consulted. If defense acquisition procedure, they are consulted. Now recently, the minor degree course in defense technologies has been promulgated by the AICTE. That was the initiative of SIDM. So many activities they do, policies, influencing the government, and they also give awards to the industries. Just 2 days back or 3 days back, on 27th, Raksha Mantri has given to almost about 60 people awards from SIDM. Honorable Defense Minister has come and then he gave it. And also, Bhatiaji is the board chairman of Bharat Forge Defense Systems. So he is such a senior man there. Then we have Mr. Tapat Kumar, a man who is grown in defense. He was with many industries. He worked across the industries. He was in Adani Defense. Now he is the CEO of HFCL, one of the units which is in fiber optics, electronics, fuses, ammunition, armaments, many things, and expanding in a big way. And they are trying to expand. They have units in Bangalore, they have units in Hosur, they have units in Chennai, they have units in Hyderabad. They are opening a unit in so he is such a senior man and having experience. This is the panel what we have. I request all of you to take it very seriously, listen to them, and I also give the opportunity at the end for you to interact with the panel with you, any queries you have, clarifications you have. So first I'll plan it in such a way that I'll have each of them to give their perspective with respect to the new entrepreneurs to come to defense. What are the various policy measures, or what are the opportunities, and how they can come in, and what it can be done. And those aspects I want to talk to each one of them in their own way. I start with Dr. Chandrika Kaushik, because R&D is the most important thing and the starting point in any technology development. So DRDO does the technology development and gives it to the industry. So I like to ask her how DRDO facilitates industry to come up in defense and establish themselves within the country, supplying to DRDO, armed forces, and later exporting to the world. That is the clarity what I need from her, for all of you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. Dr. Reddy, my co-panelists. I am really very happy to be present here with you. Coming to the question raised by Dr. Reddy, I'll give you some pointers. The first requirement from DRDO and for the overall defense ecosystem is for our industries, and that includes everyone, the young startups, MSMEs, the larger industries. We want them to partner with us in the development process itself. So if we are talking about any big system, it could be an AMCA or a tank or a missile system, which has got multiple subsystems. Normally, the concerned laboratory working on it would look for partners, and depending on the complexity level, either on a build to print or a build to specification, we look for partnership from the industries in the development phase. And let me assure you that the industries which are participating with the DRDO labs in various projects go on to become the suppliers of those subsystems and a part of the supply chain during the production phase. We have come out with a concept of development cum production partner, where for every system that is being supplied to the armed forces based on developments happening in the DRDO, the industry which is partnering the development goes on to supply those systems to the armed forces. And not only to the armed forces, these are the industries which are responsible for taking the lead in export of these systems, and also to the other security agencies which are supporting the defense of the nation. The MHA agencies, the police forces, the various CAPFs, they also have similar requirements. So those requirements can also be met by the industries which are partnering during the design and development phase. So while DRDO takes the lead during the development phase, during the D&D phase, the industries are expected to take the ownership and the leadership during the production phase. So this is how the major macro programs and major systems are developed and productionized. Then we also give the transfer of technology for various kind of components, subsystems, system levels over and above the DCPPs, so that the industrial ecosystem can grow and mature much faster. I am happy to see that all my co-panelists are also our DCPPs for multiple systems that are under production and for induction to the armed forces. You'd be happy to note that roughly about 6 lakh crore worth of systems have been approved for induction by the armed forces based on the developments by DRDO. Thank you. And about 12,000 crore worth of exports, from what Dr. Reddy mentioned just now, that has happened in the last year is based on the systems developed by DRDO. As I mentioned, we have whatever technologies are developed, we are more than happy to share the expertise, the TOTs with our industry partners. And till date, more than 2,000 agreements for transfer of technologies have been shared with the industry partners. We have also come up with the Technology Development Fund scheme, where not only does the DRDO fund the development of technology to the extent of 50 crores, it also does the technical mentoring, handholding of the young startups and MSMEs which are participating in the technology development. Till date, about 80 projects costing more than 300 crores have been sanctioned. The IPR portfolio of DRDO, which is again more than 2,500 IPRs have been filed, these have been made open to public. So if any young startup, MSME, any industry feels, and these are available on our websites, if you feel that this IP is of relevance to you and you would like to take it further, you would like to develop it and convert it into a product or do some customization, there is a process put on the website whereby which you can make use of these IPRs and do the commercial exploitation of those. We also support the industries by providing the test facilities. Test facilities are capital intensive, And DRDO has a unique blend of test facilities which are required across the various spectrum. So more than 30 labs having different kind of test facilities. These are available on the website, and industries who need to make use of these can access this by checking on the details on the website. Annually, more than 6,000 tests are conducted for the Indian industries, which is helping especially the young startups and the MSMEs in taking their developments further. I'd also like to inform all the people present here that we have come up with a system for advanced manufacturing assessment and rating, where we take the help of QCI, quality, which kind of assesses the maturity level of the industry to see how mature is the industry for productionization and whether they can partner, where are they, what is the kind of level, and they also give suggestions on how to support and how to upgrade themselves to the levels which are required for partnering in the defense ecosystem. We have also opened a defense technology and testing center. It is available at Lucknow, where dedicated test facilities are available which can be made use of by various agencies, and that center also provides specific training on complex softwares and other requirements. So these are some of the initiatives. We also have an open house every month in each DRDO lab as well as at the DRDO headquarters to listen to new suggestions that may come up from the industry, and all the details are available on our website. Anyone who needs to get in touch with any laboratory or with us at headquarters, please feel free to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to support you in whichever way possible. I think we'll close with that. I'm overshooting the time, looks like.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving the perspective of how DRDO works with the industry and all that. Later, any clarifications, we'll come back to you after the thing. Now, next I move to Commodore Madhav Rao, the Chairman and Managing Director of BDL, one of the largest DPSUs, Defense Public Sector Units. Normally, probably you may think that if it is DPSUs means, and they do everything, and industry what we are, and we need to work separately and all that. It is not so. BDL works with industry in a big way. I'll just give one statistics and then leave it to Commodore Madhav Rao. Akash is one of the large number of missiles produced missile system. And maybe more than about 15,000 crores or 20,000 crores worth of missiles have been produced. And I want to tell you, when BDL has produced a missile system, 84% by value has been come out from private MSMEs. BDL has taken from all of them, integrated, tested and supplied it in. That is what it is. So I request Commodore Madhav Rao to give his perspective from BDL and DPSUs, how new entrepreneurs like you can come up and work with them. Mr. Commodore Madhav Rao.
Thank you very much, sir. It's indeed a pleasure to be here, and I would like to open by thanking the Hyderabad Entrepreneurship Summit organizers and TiE for giving us this opportunity. Like what Dr. Reddy said, we have been in this business of weapon system manufacturing. You know, when somebody asks me, what do you do? I have a very simple answer that I make missiles. And then the questions stop. So, and generally when you talk about technology, in a lighter vein, when you want to say that some technology is unsurmountable or something, you say it's no rocket science. I guess what we do is rocket science. So, And we have inherited this from the DRDO. BDL was set up in 1970 by the Government of India to enable manufacturing of the missiles in India. And from then, we have been constantly associated with the DRDO. In 1983, the IGM-DP program was announced, wherein the Integrated Guided Missile Program started. And all the greats of DRDO, up to the last chairman DRDO, they have all spent adequate time in BDL in ensuring that the product that comes out of BDL is absolutely the best in the world. Like they say, the missiles are a single shot product. You can call back a Honda City and say, okay, we'll change the battery and give it back to you and so on and so forth. But here you can't call back a missile. So it is a single shot device. The quality is paramount. And we have been associated with all those stakeholders who are into this business. So like Sir said, to start with, the designer here in most of our indigenous products has been DRDO, and we have been the production agency. And apart from manufacturing these missiles, it is our responsibility to take along with us all the MSMEs and other large industry partners who give us critical components of the missile to finally make the missile and deliver it to the user. So to give you a few examples, in like Akash Sir said 84, in today we are in majority of the missiles, 90% of it comes from our industry partners, big and small. Whatever turnover we have, out of which 60 to 70% is passed down to the industries. So if you look at the balance sheet of BDL, whatever business we do, 60 to 70% of it is available to the industry. And just to give a context of the figures, if we are talking about 1.5 lakh crore business in the industry going to 1.75, BDL order book stands at 22,000 crores. So we are just about less than 10% or just about 10% of the overall defense manufacturing process. So that is the size of what is available to the industry today. Similar figures on the export. Last year we did 21,000 crores of exports, out of which BDL has done 1,200 crores. So despite being one of the mainstay company of the defense industry, you can see what is the share that we occupy in the market. So you can well imagine the size of the market that's available to all of you. And coming to the involvement of the industry in the whole program, what BDL does is I can categorize as three types of products. One is where DRDO is our design agency. We are the production partners, either through PA arrangement or through the DCPP, wherein the design is given to us and we work with the nominated or the qualified industry partners who have been part of DRDO during the development along with us. We manufacture these missiles. This occupies close to 60 to 70% of our product list. The next is the foreign OEMs. We have been working with them right from 1970 of doing TOT programs, wherein we have got the TOT from the foreign OEMs and now they are all indigenously produced. I will give you an example of the Concourse missiles. It's an anti-tank guided missile. When we started this, we were 30% indigenous, 70% was imported. And thanks to companies like yours, today we are 99% indigenous. So BDL has always been a encourager of various entrepreneurs, startups, and MSMEs to improve this import to indigenous ratio. And we have almost done the complete missile ourselves. It is not just one missile, but many of the missiles we have been importing or doing it through TOT are now indigenously produced. The next one is lately we have started doing R&D ourselves to relieve the burden on DRDO for the technologies that are more critical and complex, and try to take on that is already been established, like doing some improvements to what products have emerged from the technologies developed by DRDO, or where there are gaps where DRDO is working on the larger projects, we take up on the smaller projects and do R&D ourselves. So we have a few products coming up in that, where again, we are doing it not alone. We are doing it with the complete support and innovative initiatives by a lot of startups. The last category is we are developing products along with startups. The ideas are of the startups. The innovative ideas have come from them. They are the initiators of the products. We are supporting them, and we are helping them to convert them into products. So that is the kind of role that we have been playing. We have been playing the second fiddle in many cases, and in some cases we are being the taking the supportive role. The Government of India has done a lot to encourage startups and MSMEs in the defense sector. We have the programs like Hitex, where the startups are funded. 50% of the project cost is paid by the government, 50% by the startup company, and there is a mentor organization like BDL which supports them to take their ideas into products. So the latest on that Hitex scheme is the Aditi scheme, where the amount that the government is giving is 50 crores per project. So that is the kind of initiative that the government has taken. And all of us in the defense sector, primarily the government companies, we have listed the various component subsystems that are imported on a portal called Srijan portal. On the Srijan portal, all of us have listed what are the items that we are importing, and therefore these are available for import substitution through your innovative ideas. And it has been a good program that we have year on year, we are cutting down on the list, and many of these products are becoming indigenous now. With respect to the USP of the startups of being innovative and agile, I can only tell you that the DPSUs are no longer the erstwhile white elephants who take a lot of time to move. We move as quickly as you are. You take one step, we are ready to take 4 steps. I can tell you proudly that within a month's time, BDL has funded one of the startups 140 crores to take up a project. And the money was dispersed in 1 month's time. So, if I had to summarize companies like ours, DPSUs and the larger companies, the role we play is to synergize the efforts of the industry to make Atmanirbharta a true reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Commander Madharaji, for giving the details of whatever the activities being done by BDL, what are the production activity, and how they were working with industries, what are the opportunities, how they're collaborating with startups and everything. Now I move on to Colonel Rajendra Bhatia, the President of SIDM. As I said, SIDM is the largest industry body in the country. It's taken very seriously by the ministry and the government in multiple ways, in the policy generations, are working out with the industry-related aspects, industry-related problems, and whatnot. So I think he's the right man who understands the industry aspects, perspective today in the country the best. And he also has been, of course, as I said, he is the chairman of the board of Bharat Forge. And so that way, as himself also being part of as an entrepreneur, he knows everything. So I request Colonel Bhatia to give his perspective about what are the opportunities now in defense, how various new entrepreneurs can join.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, and thank you for a very nice and introduction, which I don't think I deserve. But let me start, since it is a entrepreneurship summit. Let me give you a perspective for the future entrepreneurs sitting in this hall. Dr. Reddy mentioned that our last year budget was approximately 6.75 lakh crores, out of which acquisition budget was approximately 1,75,000 crores. Interesting part is that the defense budget has been increasing approximately at 9 to 10% year on year. So this budget doubles every 7 years. And if we look at Amrit Kal, and when we say 2047, by which time the India should be a developed nation, we are looking at a figure of the defense budget in the tune of 40 to 50 lakh crores by that time. And the acquisition budget will be close to 20 lakh crores by that time. So we are looking at a massive budget. Now, need to spend this budget by the own industry is well known. The recent geostrategic scenario has indicated that the nations have to be self-reliant, at least as far as defense technologies are concerned. Now, how does defense offer a unique opportunity to the entrepreneurs? And that's the area where I would like to dwell. This is one business which is dependent, like many others, on two facets. The first facet of that is technology development. Technology will be the key to winning wars. It was the key, it will remain the key. Now, how do we go about developing technology? If you take a look at facet of the technology, there are three segments which fall into it. Research and development, which will primarily remain state-funded, state-oriented function, where Dr. Chandrika really explained the role of DRDO. We do not see any change happening in that role. The second part in technology development is what we call innovation. But innovation at best is a progressive or an incremental increase. The third part of technology development is what we call disruptive technologies or the breakthrough technologies. Now, India probably has made rapid strides in last 2 decades, but we are still behind in that technology, I would say, domain behind the Western countries. So if we have to jump into that queue, into the higher level of technology development, what we need is breakthrough technologies or what we call disruptive technologies. Word over, these technologies have been developed by small enterprises. And I think that's the role which startups in this country can play. I think a lot has been said about the kind of funding availability, the kind of availability of opportunities, but I think the time is right for a nation like us to have million startups working in this domain so that you can become a startup nation for technology development, to give us a leapfrogging into the technology domain in the world. And that will be the key to our success. The second part, and with which I'll conclude my argument, is on the manufacturing end. It's also very heartening to note that the defense will always have a tierized structure for manufacturing. There'll be large-scale integrators, there'll be tier 1s who will do system work, there'll be a tier 2 who will do subsystem work, and there are tier 3 who will do component work. So it opens opportunities for everyone at various levels. So whatever level you are, with your enterprise, you can make a start. But only thing I would like to say, remember, defense is not a sprint, it's going to be a marathon. If you're going in there, plan with the idea that it's going to be a long haul. But advantage of running a marathon that very few people end up running marathons because it's a tough thing. So the entry barriers become that much larger. So with this, I would like to conclude my argument and hand it back to Dr. Reddy.
Thank you, Bhatiaji. I like to mention here one thing. He is from an industry called Bharat Forge. All of you know, India never had a gun. We have been importing, and you all heard about Bofors and all that. Then DRDO worked with the industry, Bharat Forge and Tata, and they have produced now an indigenous Indian gun called Hitex. And I want to tell you a very proud moment for our is the Hitex is the world's longest range gun. No other gun in the world has the range of an Indian gun which is produced by our country. And now these people are exporting now. We imported and we had a lot of issues and we have gone to the exporting stage now that that gun is produced by one of the industries is Bharat Forge technology from DRDO. Now I moved into Mr. Sampath Kumar. Mr. Sampath Kumar, he has grown in the industry from very small, young man, from that stage to a CEO now. And also, he worked in Laghu Udyog, SMEs, MSMEs, and large industry CEO now. And he worked with the DRDO and all the industry and DPSUs and Ministry of Defense in a big way. He knows all the related issues, and let me see how he encourages you to join into the industry and the defense industry.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. The session chairman of the day, Dr. Satish Reddy, sir. Yeah. The session chairman of the day,
Sampath.
Dr. Satish Reddy, sir.
Sampath, hold your mic like this.
Yeah. Fellow speakers on the dais, the large industry representatives among the audience. Thank you, organizers TiE, for giving an opportunity to share my views. I truly agree with what Dr. Reddy sir has said. I was one among like you, not very long ago, just 32 years ago. Yeah. I am young, just 32 years in the industry. We have seen how defense industry has evolved for over last 30 years or so. In fact, Madam Chandrika has given a perspective of how open the DRDO today. I completely agree with them. It was not so easy 30 years back when we started. All the Indian industry who are in MSME or the mid-sized companies, we were always allowed to do only the small components and never a system. Believe me, of course, I interacted with BDL for last 30 years. Whenever we used to go to BDL, as a young engineer, I used to love to see Akash missile, Prithvi missile, Agni series of missile. It used to be very, very nice and encouraging things to see as an young engineer, a complete the missile system that has been done in this country. But today, 30 years down the line, the government has opened up, I would say Ministry of Defense, especially the DRDO has opened up the encourage industry to come forward and participate in many programs. That encouragement has helped the young engineers like me, or young managers like us, to start looking at what once upon a time we were looking at as a big system, whether we will be able to touch that, we are able to produce it. I will tell you one example, gentlemen. Operation Sindoor happened May 7 to 10. You will be surprised. Almost all the defense equipment that were deployed in the border were either having a design defined here, product produced here. All components that has been used for the subsystem, the complete system has been delivered by MSMEs of Hyderabad and also few other places. So, virtually in Operation Sindoor, it is Hyderabad which protected all of us, millions of life, and our motherland. Let us give a big round of applause for yourself. With the policy changes that are being made over the last 30 years, in fact, you'll be surprised to know it is Dr. Reddy sir. From 2000 up to, DRDO has been founded in 1958. Up to 2018, before he took over as a chairman, only around 537 TOTs were given to the private industry. So here is a man from your own city who has given in less than 5 years more than this. I think 736 TOTs to the Indian industry. Let's give a big round of applause for all the galaxy of the people who are on the dais. Now to talk about how to encourage the youngsters or a young entrepreneur, not only young entrepreneur, even people with deep pockets, you will definitely face a challenge where to enter, how to enter. This is one of the challenge, even when we were there, since we have grown, as Reddy sir said, from the small MSMEs to the large companies, we went with the flow. I will give you one very important document which Government of India has published only in September. Last month they have published TPCR 2025. It's called Technology Perspective Capability Roadmap 2025. Let me repeat for the young entrepreneur. If you want, just make a note of it and search. You will get to know many things. You don't need to ask anybody where you have to play, how you can enter a business. So thanks to Ministry of Defense, they have published TPCR, Technology Perspective Roadmap document, which highlights next 15 years procurement, what armed forces, whether it is Army, Navy, Air Force, is going to do. Every technology is listed. Every product has been listed. That is one of the it's about 141 page document. My request to all the youngsters who are here, who are interested to enter the aerospace sector, to read this document. Lot of product has been listed out. You can start working on it. Another thing I will tell you. In fact, we all started, as I told you, Class C, Class D item, because at that time, the procurement was restricted to only DPSUs like the Bharat Electronics, HAL, BDL, and ordnance factories. Today, when you are able to do subsystem, we were doing system, components, system, subsystem, and then, we became the system integrators. So please look at what you can do it. Look at the focus areas have also been mentioned in this document. Just for the benefit of the audience here, let me just read out 3 or 4 areas that Government of India has emphasized. Probably if you play in these areas, you can definitely get into the aerospace sector in a big way. The focus area for the next 10 years is hypersonic weapons, 5th generation fighter aircraft. In fact, AMCA is the aircraft which Government of India, Ministry of Defense, in fact, comes under DRDO. They are building it. Get into that. That is going to be the product of the nearby future, and it will be there for a long time. Of course, artificial intelligence, battlefield awareness, and predictive logistics is one of the area which is going to be coming up in a big way. And the third focused area of the Ministry of Defense is cyber warfare and space resilience. So work on these areas. I am sure. In fact, I met some of the startups who are working on AI already. My sincere suggestion is to look at how AI-driven battlefield awareness can be created, so that it is going to be. Of course, AI is disturbing the way we were working, and you can gain immensely from that. I will also highlight some of the major program under the modernization program of Government of India, which is going to happen. Probably the startups may not get a chance here. Modernization program, initially the bigger companies would be playing. I will highlight some of those. start working with companies who are working in this area, and definitely you can get benefited out of it. The key modernization programs which are going on are going to be happening in the next 5 years. The BMP-2 compact vehicle upgradation program, incidentally, there are about 6 companies working on it, like the Tatas, L&T, and my company, HFCL, is also one of them. So, in fact, we are sourcing lot of subsystem for the BMT upgrade already from Hyderabad. Anybody new coming, also volume is so high, it's going to be around 911 vehicles. So please associate with larger companies and look at it. Tejas LCA expansion program. In fact, I heard they are already building the third assembly line. There are 2 in Bangalore. The third line is coming. That is where you can get a maximum business focus on it. The T90 upgradation program, especially the cockpit, is also happening. We are not at it, but companies like Tata, L&T is working on it. So please concentrate and join work on that. The C295 Airbus program. It's a very big program. Currently 47 aircraft, but I heard many more aircrafts are going to be given to this joint venture company. So associate there and work on it. And one of the, in fact, maybe Bangalore is more associated. SDR going to be the software defined radios is going to be one of the large program of the country. Vehicle mounted SDRs, there is an RFI going on for about 10,000 vehicles. The software defined radio, the handheld device, we require in India more than about 1 lakh pieces. So please work on these activities. You can be benefited most. Also, I wanted to tell you, because a lot of young entrepreneurs are there, just get into the component level manufacturing. There is a reason why I am telling this. 2014-15, in the same hall here, I was one of the speakers for a Boeing conference, because I was working in big way those days for Boeing program. Boeing in 2014 had a zero sourcing from India. Today, just 10 years, it's not a long period for defense and aerospace. Today they are sourcing $1.25 billion worth of component, and majority of it is happening in only 2 cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore. Bangalore, Hyderabad. Same way, friends, Airbus is sourcing almost $1.5 billion worth of components. Again, 2 cities, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So there are so many opportunities coming. Work on it. But for the community of defense and aerospace, I have only 2 advisors. I'm not too big to give an advice, but you can take it as a caution. Those of you who are already associated for some time, you know how difficult is the defense business is. You may have a deep pocket, you have an enthusiasm to come. The Government of India, DRDO, even defense PSUs have opened in a big way. You can always work for it. But keep 2 things in mind. 1, defense business is not an overnight business. Have little patience, you can grow. Mr. Shivkumar is laughing, he is here. He knows how difficult it is. And the second most important advice is perseverance. If you don't have these 2, don't come for the defense business. So my sincere suggestion is, it is open for everybody. Come, let us grow. Next 20-25 years, it is going to be defense and aerospace which will be contributing for the growth of this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sampath-ji. I like to mention Mr. Sampath worked with DRDO when he was there in the previous organization, and DRDO with the industries has developed. BDL is one of the important industries, developed with the 2 industries jointly together in a mode what Dr. Chandrika mentioned some time back, called DCPP, Development Cum Production Partner. That means when you start the design, that industry is involved. Together the scientists, the engineers of the production agency work together. First time in the world, a missile on a drone is developed in less than 1 year and tested and produced, and Army has ordered in 1 year. And that is what these 2 great gentlemen have produced with the technology from DRDO. And that was used in Operation Sindoor. In fact, I want to mention here Operation Sindoor, because you are all have come from different fields. with all the eminent organizations, eminent people who are present here, who are representing the great organizations. These organizations which have produced indigenous equipment here, first time India in Operation Sindoor fought a war with Atmanirbharata and completely indigenous weapons. Completely indigenous weapons. In fact, the precision was so accurate. I'd like to mention here very clearly, we could attack the terrorist camps, not touching the next house also, the pinpointed house. We attacked the Air Force stations, runways, radars, bunkers, important sites, all very accurately, pinpointedly with various missiles like BrahMos and all that. Now you see, other side, they also tried. Everything takes off from that side of the country, and here we have Akash missile, we have MRSAM missile, we have our radar system, we have our integrated network. Nothing was allowed to come into the country and attack us. Nowhere. Till now we have been thinking only Israel has got Iron Dome and everything, but this country has not allowed one to come our side, whereas we could attack everything, whatever we wanted to do. That is the great thing, whatever I think require a big applause, a standing applause to all the people. Please get up and give a great applause to all these people and the armed forces in the country. Big way. Thank you. Now the house is open. So all of you, anybody has got any queries, any clarifications, and please ask. If all the people sit, then they will understand who is asking. So the global president wants to open it.
Very good evening, sir.
I think someone else is already speaking.
I think we'll give it to Murali. We'll take it up later.
So Satish sir, thank you very much for bringing such eminent personalities, and it's very eye-opening to hear. So first and foremost, congratulations to you to putting together such an eminent panel. Thank you, Shiva, for organizing this. I have a question, Mr. Rajendra Singh Ji. You mentioned that this is a marathon. And even marathon, you need to know whether it's a 26 kilometers or a 56 kilometers which you're running. And I want to understand from an entrepreneurial point of view, for a young entrepreneur, are you trying to run 3-year marathon or a 5-year marathon or a 10-year marathon so that the sustainability becomes? I just want you to shed some light into that aspect of it if I'm starting the absolutely latest venture today.
So it's a very interesting question to answer, but I'll try and answer to the best of my abilities. The issue here is that what we were trying to say, that defense development is a long drawn out affair, because it has a developmental phase, it has a testing phase, it has an acceptance phase, and then only it gets inducted, unlike a normal commercial product which may not go through these phases. Now coming to some of the high technology products where the changeover of technology is very quick, the acquisition cycle has to be shorter. Where the technology, if the equipment has to be large, complex, technically advanced platform, the period will be much longer. Let me give you the word data on it, and then we can take a look at what happens. For complex programs, world over, including advanced countries like United States of America, the time lies anything between 60 months to 10 years. For less complex programs, the period lies between 36 months to 60 months. And today, in communication, highly digitally or AI related or quantum computing related projects, the time will be much shorter globally. The best countries to emulate in this are South Korea and Israel, which try to finish their development and acquisition in a period less than 3 years. India's figure, which you would be wanting to know, lies anything around 7 years. But there is a very sharp focus to at least cut it down to 36 months or 24 months, and that's where SIDM is working very closely with Indian government to try and do that. Let me also give you an example of Hitex, which Dr. Reddy mentioned. The first prototype came out in less than 16 months. It is different that the trials took longer period, but first prototype came out in 16 months. So complex equipment can also be developed in much faster time frame, and I think everybody is working towards that. But aim is not to discourage, aim is to tell people that it's a long haul, but take a look at the advantage. Entry barrier for the next chap is that much longer. So you're going to be, if you have developed something, you'll have 10 years of free run before somebody comes in. So please take it in that manner. I hope I have answered the question.
Please.
Very good afternoon to you, all the lady too, and the Satish Reddy sir.
A little louder.
No, I'm giving the one. I'm coming to you with the question. This is a question regarding about the one before the Operation Sindhu took place. Correct me if I am wrong. The hats off to the ladies which have been took the parade at the Rajpath. Then outstanding, the parade they took, the lady was an officer. Then hats off to that lady and all the contingent at the time. Then comes to the one before the one attacking the enemy by the Indian Armed Forces. Hats off to them, to the two ladies. Again, my question to you, I will take the one permission from the TiE, all the committee members, and also the one to you, Satish Reddy sir in particularly. This is the one relating to the one Operation Sindoor and post-Operation Sindoor. Is a politically related one. Can I ask the one question to you or not?
Politically related, please don't ask. You ask us technology related things, we'll answer.
Thank you very much.
Madam.
Yeah, very good afternoons. So I have just one simple question is, I represent Thai women and at India as well as the global level. And for the women entrepreneurs, I do understand that there is a kind of GOI or whatever, where some amount of procurement by the defense will be done from women entrepreneurs. So I would like to understand what are those, so that we can encourage our women entrepreneurs in that regard. So thank you so much.
Commodore Madhav would like to answer that.
Yes.
Yeah, since I represent the government company and we are very particular in following the directives of the government, apart from the ensuring that we do the business in the right way. As far as women entrepreneurs, the government said at least 3% of our procurement should happen from women entrepreneurs. And it is a sad state that we have not been able to meet this criteria many times. So I was just discussing with some of your colleagues a little while ago. It is more, I think, about engaging with each other, knowing more about each other, and how to approach each other, like what some time back was discussed. I'm sure there are very good companies run by women entrepreneurs, and we are very keen to work with them. Therefore, there is a policy, there is an encouraging government which wants more and more women entrepreneurs to participate in the defense industry. You're welcome. And I've shared my card with some of the people. We look forward to getting more interaction from you.
Very good. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Balarama Varanasi. My question is for Satish Reddy Garu. Like, I am aware that DRDO has very good relationship with Computer Society of India. My question is, American Department of Defense, from that internet has come and like all business application and all. Okay, like that, I really commendable. Like all Sindoor, precision, everything and all. Okay, the same integrity definition standards that is essential for if all the missiles struck the targets, it is essential for the integrity of liberalized global economy as well. The Washington Accord partnerships, Department of Defense partnership with Texas A&M. That model, maybe our IITs and all, that is for production of missiles we are partnering. We need to partner with, take advantage of Washington Accord. We could create the per capita income improvement program. My question, sir, per capita income improvement statement, essential for peaceful prosperity generation for the careers of the youth. It is the same standards, integrated definition standards are essential. We could have delivered it. Government is not asking. A percentage of the defense budget should be for peace initiative, just as the American government is doing. That benchmark is missing. I would like to connect with you regarding that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. We'll take the input and see. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Deepa. I come with R&D and manufacturing experience, but not in this vertical. So a question to the panel is, as a new entrant, we've heard that the barriers of entry are high, and it is a long run to be successful in this vertical. So is there any guidance on complementary products? I think it's kind of related. Complementary products or industries that one can enter through and sustain for the long run. I hope my question is clear. Especially for women entrepreneurs, I guess this kind of will help.
So, with respect to, I would try to answer you in two portions. Ma'am, if you look at an industry, whether it is defense industry or any other industry, we are a manufacturing sector, largely on the industry side. Every industry which is in the manufacturing side has various things required. So if you look at real sustenance, I was speaking to somebody about SAP. We are now, the Government of India and the Ministry of Defense has moved to Zoho for the mail. We are looking for more Atmanirbharta in these kind of products that you are making. We are keen to absorb them, and these will give us long-term association and partnership. There are enough services that every industry requires. So we as defense industry also require a lot of things that are required by, this is one model. The other part, like sir mentioned about the AI and data analysis, which is going all over, is definitely going to be consistently required by the defense industry. Though I would like to say here, when I did my studies, my MTech in 90s, I did a program, I did a project in artificial intelligence and neural networks. So the defense is very much into it, like what he talked about, the internet coming from the research and development of the defense. But what has come in the industry today, the packages on AI, etc., are so much available that you can easily plug in, make things happen faster. So the application of decision support systems is always there in the defense. The knowledge and the entrepreneurship that you have in these sectors will help. We are looking at sensors, whether it is IR sensors or there are other sensors which form part of the seekers, etc., are an area where we are looking at more people to work on. There are something on the new missiles which we are working on, is the long-range missiles, where there is the small turbo engines are going to be the engines for these missiles, as well as the certain drones and loitering munitions, etc. These are some of the areas that are coming up where if you are interested in working it, I'm sure you will have a sustained relationship with the defense industry.
Thank you. I only wanted to mention here, coming to the women entrepreneurs, there are general incentives which are given by the Government of India for the women entrepreneurs. Otherwise, as women entrepreneurs, when they enter into the defense, there are no other special privileges. There are many incentives. Let's say there are 4 men-based organizations and 2 women-based organizations compete for a tender. They are equal. There is nothing. But whereas as an organization, as an industry, when you have an industry coming up, there are many Government of India schemes which are supporting women entrepreneurs. That is the same common for every ministry also as of today. This is generally anything else you have, you sit with me separately, I'll tell you. No? She is a Usmania University product engineer here. Okay, right. Good. Next.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. So,
Hello.
only one short question here.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. This is Ekta. We run a chain of co-working spaces, Kokarma in Hyderabad, and we deal with a lot of startups. So I would like to know from you, have you come across any startups in the defense sector, and have they helped us in the Indian Defense Department?
To answer your question is a very emphatic yes. A large number of startups have made a headway. Not only they have made headway with their technologies and products, they have also reaped the benefit of development. Their market caps have really shot up. So they have also been able to get the dividend both on financial side and on technical side.
This gentleman here.
good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, panelists, everyone. So, I have a question. In defense industries, they get technology advancements every day than the market, right? So, about the additive manufacturing industry, how is it useful for the defense industry, and what scope does it have in future?
Additive manufacturing has got intense applications in defense. There are many critical parts which are actually unable to do in the normal process of regular machining process. The additive manufacturing is the only one which can provide. Like example, take critical parts in an engine.
Yes.
They're all very extremely difficult. Some of the parts which go into the aircraft, some of the parts which go into the missile are difficult. So this is where we are also encouraging a lot of people in the private industry to come up with additive manufacturing over and above the within the house industries to come up. So additive manufacturing has got a major role to play in the industry to come up in the future, not only for domestic, even for exports as a supply chain in the globally supply chain also. If anybody is interested, should go ahead with the additive manufacturing units to come up, metal additive manufacturing units to come up, including the powders. Somebody makes the powders also, they will have a good industry and they will have a good market.
Yes. We have indigenous companies like Matronana.
Yeah, please.
So,
go ahead.
and one more continuous question about that, sir. So, as a startup who is focusing on the additive manufacturing and low volume production, so what is the path I should choose, and what type of products I have to be focused to get into the defense in the initial stage?
Basically, additive manufacturing, there are a lot of parts of a particular system or mega system it has to be. So you have to get in touch with the laboratories, get in touch with the industries and see what are the parts and how you will be able to make faster delivery, quicker delivery at a lower cost and all that. And so you have to go and touch upon the people and try to see what are those units. It is difficult in a forum like this here to say what are those items, to very difficult to say here.
Sir, I think I'll just help him. Ready, sir? One point. Here. Sir. Gentlemen, I think Sir mentioned, probably you didn't get it. Go to Aircraft Engine Division, GTRE, that is a DRDO organization, ISRO, 70-acre facility, you will directly get an inquiry.
So one last question, I was told. While we have the, after Sindoor, I think the patriotism has gone up 10x now. But we don't see much of encouragement for the youngsters to join defense forces or defense labs, right? IITs, IIMs, or whoever it may be. Is there any initiatives taken by the government to encourage more youth joining voluntarily than by force into the defense organizations? Maybe by increasing the pay scales, by giving them incentives, giving them shares.
Actually,
and things like that.
in the defense services, there is no forced entry. It is only voluntary so far in India. And coming to the market itself, like what you say, everything is market driven. There is so much business that there is so much encouragement for people to join the industry. In the last 3 years, we have taken more than 500 people in our company. So I'm sure with so many entrepreneurs coming up, it's all a matter of having more jobs in the defense industry. And like the canvas has explained, that it is 1.75 lakh crores of manufacturing that is going to be there in the defense industry. Now, this is itself encouraging. The special things is that the defense expos and the kind of, I think on a average every month, we are exhibiting our products in various parts of the country. And there's a lot of keen interest from very academic institutions also. We have had DRDO itself doing a major event with the college students here about a couple of months back. We had, I think, more than lakhs of students participating. That is how we're trying to, that is much before even Sindhu. So there are constant activities, and we also have dedicated things of opening up our industry for college students to come and see what we make.
Okay. Madam.
Sir, one.
Hi, my name is Srilekha Kalvakunta. I'm the author of Thought Process. So I just want to understand that does a thought-driven leadership or anything that's related to thoughts has connectivity with the defense industry? In terms of new innovation or artificial intelligence or, the neuro-linguistic programming which you have mentioned. Because we see this kind of, relativity and connectivity happening with the defense industry in terms of, issues related to various aspects almost in our day-to-day lives. That is what is the observation. So I just want to understand that does thought-driven leadership or thought process or new thinking in a unique way has got anything to do with the
answer is yes. There are lots of mechanisms.
Sir, I just want to say something, guys. We're running a little late. I request the panel to take this last question, and rest of the questions will be offside.
And other gentlemen question, we will handle it separately, not through the podium.
May not be exactly, but more or less.
Whatever you said, there is a lot of opportunities for such thoughts and thought processes, new thoughts, new ideas, which are both for civilian and defense-related applications coming up. In fact, many AI companies which have come up in the civilian domain, they came out with thoughts. Those thoughts become very, very relevant for the defense and entered into the defense in a big way. There are a couple of AI companies in Hyderabad itself, at least 5 to 10 of them, who have come up as civilian AI applications industry and converted themselves to here. In fact, these challenges, whatever we do, some of those challenges like Hitex and TDF and all that in the Ministry of Defense, there are where your own ideas also you can project and give it to them as thought processes. They will be evaluated. They find really useful for the defense applications. They in fact fund them. The funding up to is 10 crores, 20 crores, 50 crores rupees of funding also happens to these ideas. But the ideas should be really innovative and applicable to the defense. Then it can be taken. So the idea generation is very much open in defense, and more actually is encouraged in that direction in a much big way. Because in a war, in any warfare, who has technologically or idea-wise a better system strategically, he wins the war. So always better ideas should be coming first. Okay. So we'll, as we are running out our time right now, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much for being a great audience, and thank my panelists for giving such wonderful messages, information. Thank you. Thank you very much.